Good day, everyone. I'm Lenzy Ruffin, marketing strategist and small business advisor, and my co host is Cheron Reed, owner of RX Catering. We're coming together to do some hot seat reviews of catering businesses to help these business owners get from where they are to where they want to be. Cheron's been in the game for a very long time, almost 20 years. She's been running her catering business full time. So she has the insights and the experience to provide the guidance that uh, less experienced caterers need to get from where they are to where they want to go. And I'm here to provide the marketing support because most people, most small business owners, not just caterers, are fantastic at what they do, but don't really know much about marketing. So they have this fantastic product that they're not able to market effectively. Their business is not growing the way it should because they just don't know how to get the word out. So that's what I'm here for. In today's hot seat review, we're going to take a look at Culture Gourmet, owned by Chef Aaron Gatson. And I want to turn it over to you, Cheron.
All right. Well, another great candidate in our hot seat today. Thank you. Excited to be here too. Thank you, Aaron, for submitting. So, Aaron's business or his company is Culture Gourmet. He's doing this full time and he has about 3 to 5 events per week. So, my first pause right there is if this is full time and he's only doing 3 or 5 events per week, he has to have another side hustle or another gig because, I mean, unless these are $1 million events, I'm not sure how he's paying the bills because I know in the DC area, we need a lot more business to actually live. He has all types of opportunity here in the DMV area. It looks like his current customer base are corporate and government. And so that is a great opportunity. Now, the one thing that when I was assessing and looking at all his information is a lot of times I'll go to a website and I don't know about you, Lenzy, but I couldn't really get a whole lot of information from the website because it's not functioning. So,
What Cheron's
um,
talking about, so this is the Culture Gourmet website. And if I click for the menu, this is what we get. Well, it's taking a second and now.
yep.
So this is saying Culture Gourmet will resume Friday, December 2nd. At the time of this recording, this is February 8th. So this is a couple of months, I guess, has been like this.
Right.
Uh, if I click here, just trying to get to the menu, a little lag, and we get to the delivery menu, and it's the same thing. So this is
Right.
effective. This is not a functional website. There's no way for people to place an order here.
Right. So I was actually going there because a lot of times I like to see what each chef is specialized in. And first glance, you saw the first page. It's inviting. Um, I don't know, Lindsay, if you're going to talk about logo later and all that jazz colors, but the red, as you all know, for logo colors, those are they bring a lot of energy, passion. So I'm sure that you're passionate about what you do. But this was the first, red flag for me. If you want to increase your business, you need to make it very simple because for me or anyone else, and I'm not very computer savvy myself, to just go and look at what you actually have to offer. So when he does cater, it looks like he is doing events for 25 to 100 people. The one thing I loved about this was he does have his food handler's license. He is insured and he does have like all the equipment and everything that is required and needed. So that actually takes a lot of time. The one thing I don't see in here is I think you'll probably handle that is the referrals. You don't advertise. You don't advertise, but it's all referrals. So if you're only doing 3 to 5 events per week and you're not hitting the right people, then you may not have the best referral base. Um, I think probably after we one of my suggestions for you, since you're in the DMV area, is getting certified if you haven't, as a small business, a minority owned business. That always helps. If you're interested, you said you work with the government, but if you're interested in expanding, there are so many different opportunities that you can get contracts as far as food service with the business, just because you're minority owned. I don't know what your background is. If you have military, if you're a vet, that actually helps as well. So I'm gonna put my additional comments on pause right now and have you go into the marketing, Lenzy.
Okay. So let's see. Chef Katz's 12-month goal is to get his business back to 50 to 100K per month. So presumably he was there, since he's saying he wants to get back there. Um, Problem with that is, like you said, he's not advertising. His answer to the advertising question is that he does not advertise. His business is all referrals. That's referrals are outstanding. Referrals are the cheapest way to get clients, but you cannot rely solely on referrals if you're trying to grow a business. Referrals is somebody else doing the work to grow your business. It's great if you can get people to do that for you, but if you want to grow consistently, you need to take control of that. You have to get behind the driver's seat and make sure that the marketing activities are taking place on a daily basis. And that's what marketing requires. It's a daily activity. If you're trying to grow your business every day, you have to be marketing every day. It's farming. You plant seeds that grow and you reap the harvest later on. Every day you don't plant seeds is another day that there's going to be no harvest down the road. So if you're trying to grow a business, and particularly a 7-figure a year business, $50,000 to $100,000 a month, 100K a month is 1.2 million a year. You got to be advertising. That cannot be just referrals. So one of the questions is, what's your main marketing platform? And he put his Instagram is the platform his social media platform he uses the most. And he says once in a while, but I'm looking at this Instagram account and it's 13 posts total. That's it. This is not once in a while, man. This is, 13 posts total. So, yeah, you got to give people a way to know that you exist. Referrals, again, is a great way for that to happen, but that's a limited opportunity and you don't control it. So, you really want to choose a platform and do your own marketing. A lot of chefs use Instagram. I recommend YouTube. YouTube is a much better platform for a chef because it takes so much less of your time. With YouTube, you can have your own full length cooking show and then use that to build all kinds of revenue streams on top of it. That's going to be your marketing platform for growing your catering business. You're going to be able to get ad revenue from your cooking show episodes. Once your channel gets monetized, you'll be generating revenue through your ads. It's going to be let's see, we said catering, your YouTube monetization, the your private membership community. If you're willing to teach people how to cook, and I do believe that was one of your objectives, is to educate people about food. There's no better platform to be on to educate people than YouTube. YouTube is where everybody goes to learn how to do something, whatever it is they're trying to learn how to do. So that cooking show on YouTube is just a platform really for all of these different revenue streams that you layer on top of it. Again, getting clients for your catering business, getting ad revenue from your YouTube videos, getting clients for your paid membership community where you're teaching people how to cook. If you want to train other chefs on the business of food, you have the opportunity to do that as well with your paid membership community. So if you are really trying to grow this revenue, then you have to market. The best marketing platform for a chef is YouTube, in my opinion. And so your cooking show revenue target that you put is 100K a month. You want to get 100K just from your cooking show, that's not a problem. It's just math. So if you charged a $50 a month membership fee for your private cooking community where you're teaching people how to cook and basically delivering your version of the Food Network, whatever that looks like, if you charge $50 a month, then you need just 2,000 paying customers, 2,000 clients paying you $50 a month. That's your 100K a month. Or you could go at a higher price point, $100 a month, and then you would need just 1,000 paying customers. Now, contrast that to what it takes to be successful on social media, needing tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of followers for the numbers to be significant. When we're talking about paying customers, the numbers are much, much smaller. In this instance, 1,000 to 2,000 people. And so, some folks will watch this and go, man, who's going to pay me $50 a month? I hear this all the time. Who's going to pay me $50 a month? Nobody's going to pay that. Nobody's going to pay $100 a month. We're talking about education and entertainment. People spend money. So entertainment, $100 a month is nothing. So if the audience you're going after is people who have money and they are willing to spend it on things that make their lives better. So many chefs have done or are doing in-person cooking classes. People sign up, they pay a registration fee, they come out and cook, and they're paying $80 to $100 or even more for that one-time experience. Well, what we're offering here is $50 a month or $100 a month for 4 sessions. So these are your pre-recorded videos, so one a week, one pre-recorded video a week. You also can do live streams as much or as infrequently as you choose. One a month is what I would say is a good minimum. But if you wanted to do one once a week, some chefs really enjoy doing that. So these additional things that you offer inside your community, as well as the ability for people to ask you questions, this is why they will pay you if you're providing a service that they enjoy and delivering an experience that they're really happy with. And once you've done that, it's just a matter of continuing to go out and find the additional people to continue growing your business. You don't start with the 1,000 people that you need. You start with 5, you start with 10, and then you keep growing it. And then over time, you have a cooking show that's brought you all these people, these paying customers. And that's how you get to your $100,000 a month revenue from your cooking show. Uh, So the question I ask is, why don't you have a cooking show? And your answer is lack of structure and details to strategize a cohesive plan to market and monetize that platform. That's what you get in my Celebrity Chef Masterclass. It's an online course that I created that teaches you in 5 days how to create your cooking show. So in 5 days, you will have a cooking show on TV. Because if you're on YouTube, you're on TV. Half of people watch YouTube on their television. So if you have a cooking show on YouTube, you have a cooking show on TV. And then for the monetization, within the first 30 days, if you follow the process that's taught in that masterclass, you will start making money within your first 30 days. So everything that you're asking for, a strategy and a cohesive plan to monetize and market, or market and monetize, that is exactly what my Celebrity Chef Masterclass offers. And I also have a coaching program that goes with it if you wanted that as well. But that's how you get your cooking show going. That's all I do. That's what I teach. That's what my class is about, is creating a revenue generating cooking show. Let me see if there's any more marketing stuff here before I hand it back to you, Cheron. So his main non-monetary goal for the cooking show is for everyone in the world to experience some form of what it means to use the Culture Gourmet as a brand. Their motto is freshly made with love, connection, and community. YouTube, if you're trying to reach people with your brand message as a chef, there is no better way to do that than with your own full-length cooking show. Not the little stuff that people do on Instagram, the little shorts and reels, or rather, but a full-length cooking show. There's no better way for a chef to showcase what you have to offer than hosting your own full length cooking show. And YouTube is the platform that allows you to do that. So we'll hand it back to you, Cheron. You want to start with the most important question, or you got something else you wanted to
No,
focus
I'm
on?
going to go back just one area because I wrote this down when I was taking some notes about his whole lack of social media, and we don't know, is it time that it takes to actually, create and post or do whatever on social media, or is it he doesn't know what to put, or he doesn't want to be on social media? But one thing that I would offer, when I started, probably, let's see, in maybe my second or third year, so that was maybe 15 years ago, social media was just starting, to really get popular. And I was one of those that didn't want to be on social media. And the reason being, and I'm ashamed to say this, is that I didn't want people to know that I was Black owned initially. I didn't want them to know, because of the stereotypes that go with Black owned businesses sometimes, is that they, underperform, don't deliver, their mistakes. And when I saw that you are, trying to build your model, or the of your company is community love and love, connection, and community, how are your people going to know this about you if you're not telling them? And Lenzy made a great point. Yes, YouTube, but I'm also encouraging you just to actually do more of building your brand, your awareness. Even as a chef and as my business, a lot of times I will share personal journeys, health journeys, as far as how that relates to my staff here. People want to see the person behind who's preparing the food, and what their journey is, and what their story is, and who's helping them.
Let's talk about meal prep for weight loss. We know it's a constant struggle for all of us, including me. Earlier this year, I had an injury with my shoulder and I gained a lot of weight. Now I'm on a mission to get it off. So I meal prep for myself. So I'm in this with you. So if you like personal meal prep for weight loss, please check us out at rxcatering-dc.com.
So I would just say, I would encourage you to actually be more open. And one of your questions that you had on here is, I'm going down to the third one. What are some gems that Cheron would share to help me reach some of my goals? And the first thing that I actually wrote down was to listen to advice and implement it. And this is not advice from everybody. This is, advice from sound people, people like Lenzy and myself. And if you're getting something, take the time to digest it and then implement the feedback that is given. And a lot of times people don't want to hear all the feedback. So I commend you for even submitting the application, for us to even go through your business and to give our opinion of it. And then also taking some of my life experiences as far as consistency. That would be a gem, being consistent, and also just being, kind of like a no fail attitude. As Lenzy said, I've been in business for almost 20 years. Dang, it's been that long. Um, and coming from corporate America, it's easy to take the road backwards, but you should never go backwards. There are a lot of times that I wanted to say, I'm just going to quit this. I could go back into corporate America. I can have a consistent income. But a lot of times that's part of the whole journey. That's the struggle. That's the grind. That's the passion behind it, the perseverance. So if you want to be successful, and this is what you enjoy doing, your passion, you got to have those components in place, those attributes of yourself. So the first question that he asked was, what does the process look like, and what were the biggest obstacles to overcome during that process? Oh my gosh. I think I said this in the last hot seat last week, is that I could have a book, I could write a book, I could have a video, I could have a movie on my whole life, as it relates to RX Catering. But the two things that really kind of stand out to me the most is, and I saw in here you don't have a business partner, but that was probably 75% of my struggles and my pain during the first 10 years. Maybe a little less, but my business partners, and you got to, it goes back to surrounding yourself with the right people. Not everybody has the best interest for you. So my success has been, I attribute it to the people, my family and friends that I have in my close circle. Without their constant encouragement, with my family, my parents, the huge financial investment that they have actually risked and taken in me, because they believed in me and my passion. And then, like I said, I mentioned my friends. I mean, I don't have a huge friend group. I know a lot of people, but my close knit friends are the ones that are there where I can share and relate to. And then also just having a community, sound people that are small business owners, entrepreneurs like yourself. You can't go out and ask your friend that goes into a corporate job every day certain questions about the struggle of entrepreneurship. You can't do it. They're not going to be able to relate, and they're not going to have the best response for you. So having that community, and Lenzy mentioned it earlier, the community that he has, that I have, of like-minded people that are going through the day-to-day struggles, like you and well, the three of us actually, because we're all small business owners. So and then the second part of that first question was capital, which I know a lot of us struggle with, finding the resources and the money to actually have a business. Because, I mean, as you know, well, back here in my kitchen, there's a ton of expensive equipment. I mean, a 3-compartment sink, as you know, is about $1,200. That's one sink. And so you think about all the money that is invested into actually having a business, and operating out of a commercial kitchen is a huge investment. It's a sacrifice, it's a risk as well. So those were some of the biggest obstacles that I had to overcome, finding the money. I'm a huge saver. I've been saving since I was a little kid, and a lot of what I invested into my business was my own personal investment initially. And then, like I mentioned before, my parents helped me. And then I've just been determined, and quiet as it's kept. I mean, COVID was not the best thing, but it was a great thing for me, because I was able to capitalize on some of the financial opportunities that are out here for that were out there for small business owners. And then the second question,
Sharon,
yes.
need to clarify something, because there's a question in the chat. The question is, are you saying that you encourage having a business partner?
Oh, that's a great question. Um, there are two sides to it. I think that if I had to do it all over again, knowing what I started off with, there were 3 of us, and now it's just me. And I think one of my former business partners, I think he still is operating, in the DMV area. I'm not quite sure. I don't keep in touch with him. But if you are going to have a business partner, I would encourage you to have the appropriate documentation and legal documentation in place, and have a super transparent conversation with your business partner or partners, and everyone should be on the same page. It should be verbalized, and it should be written out. So one of the issues that I had with one of my business partners is that he didn't want to be known as an investor. He didn't want people knowing that he had a catering company. For whatever his personal reasons were, he just wanted to be behind the scenes and give, and then work here and there. But what is working here and there? And what is your actual contribution? When you're not here on a daily basis, you're not in the weeds, you don't have any skin in the game, then what are you bringing to the table? What are you bringing to the business? So if you do have a business partner, everyone has to be aligned and the expectations have to be clear. I've talked to a couple of my friends who have business partners, and they're frustrated. They're frustrated because one is putting their all into it, and then there's another one that may be halfway, like, okay, I'm here one day, I'm out one day, I'm on vacation one day. Look, there ain't no vacation going on if all of us can't vacation. It's not one person doing all the work. So if you do have a business partner, make sure you have all. And now we did have an operating agreement with mine that I had, but it just wasn't spelled out to a T. I didn't know everything like I know now, and I would ask more questions if I were to go into business with someone else. You really have to be compatible. It's just like a relationship because you're constantly communicating and you're in it with that person. So it's like a marriage. Does that answer? Hopefully that answers the question.
I think you covered it.
Um, okay, and then so the next question is, how long from after start did you see my numbers increase? And he says I know it varies. Okay, so because there were so many different components in the beginning for me, I didn't really start seeing a true increase in my numbers until probably year 4, 5, because I was working through the whole. I had so many business partner issues that we don't even have the time right now to discuss. But then that actually trickled into um, employees, finding the right employees. Um, and for this gentleman, he doesn't have consistent business. At the time, I didn't have school contracts. At the time, I didn't have like 5 to 6 corporate companies that continually ordered from me on a weekly basis. What I had was a network of people. I came from the pharmaceutical industry, and I capitalized on my connections in that industry. So also at the time, the industry was changing. They weren't spending as much money on catering like they did when I was in the business. So I would say probably, without being 100%, financially transparent with all of my finances, 3 to 5, 3 to 4 years, I started to see somewhat of an increase. But then you have to realize too, um, uh, there are other varying factors. Delivery vehicles. I was spending more money in repairs of delivery vehicles, and that's another conversation too. And that's the reason why I asked up in the beginning: do you have vehicles that you transport your food in? Do you have the proper equipment? Because all that costs. And I was actually investing in more vehicles and spending money in maintenance because I was buying used vehicles, not new ones. So that's a whole nother discussion too.
Yeah. Did
So
you answer all three of his questions?
yep, I did, because I started off with the third one.
Okay. Okay. Um. So my wrap up on this is you got to start advertising, chef. I recommend YouTube. I recommend specifically creating a cooking show on YouTube. I have a program that teaches you how to do that. Whether you go through my program or not, it's still the same advice. You need to start a cooking show on YouTube. That's going to be the most effective way to market your business and achieve these revenue targets that you have in mind. So you got to get going. Cheron, what you got?
I have pretty much the same thing, but also um, that website. It is just bothering me because I just really wanted to see what you were preparing. Where I could be of help too is the pricing. I don't recall seeing pricing on there because we couldn't see a menu. So if you're going to try to make additional money and have additional opportunities and events per week, we got to know what you're selling. And I just didn't see that. So, unless I missed it. And I tried to click on some other things, and even on your IG page,
Yeah, if you
there's
missed it,
nothing.
that means it wasn't there. I mean, if it's there and you missed it, that's a fail in terms of the design of the website. You cannot require people to go on a treasure hunt to find your information. It's got to be right there in front of them, or they just go to the next person.
Hmm. And to that point, Lenzy, there are so many caterers in this area that it's going to be so easy to just move on. And there are times too, where I've been overwhelmed um, and missed the opportunity because I didn't follow up appropriately with an estimate. So if there's no pricing on the website, then people are for sure going to pass you up because they just don't know, and how to get in touch with you too. And I think that was on there too. I believe I read it where to click here to get in touch with him. It just wasn't easy. So you want to make it so simple and easy where people aren't passing you up to go over to the next caterer, because that next caterer is probably going to turn it around in a quicker amount of time. Did I
He
didn't
has a
see,
he
right?
has a phone number at the bottom, but if I click the
Okay,
contact
okay.
button,
Okay. I mean, but overall, like I mentioned in the beginning, Aaron, I mean, just to even submit and hear the feedback and suggestions, recommendations, it takes a lot of kudos, and I commend you for that. I just commend you for being in the industry in general, because, as you know, this is hard work. A lot of times, I say we cook with love here. We do everything with love here, but operating the physical wear and tear on your body, and just being in the creative mind space and making sure that we prepare with excellence can be overwhelming. So kudos to you for just being in it for the period of the amount of time that you've actually done it. And good luck.
I just want to uh, emphasize that point about the website again, because I see this a lot. People submit their businesses for me to review, and I go to the links that they provided, and I get there and it doesn't work. Sometimes the page doesn't work at all, as in the website is down. Other times it's up but not functional, like this particular business owner's website, meaning it's a catering website, but I cannot even see the menu, can't even see what kind of food is available. So you got to make sure your links work. If your business runs through a website, it should. Your business runs through your website. You need to be checking your website, not even weekly, daily. If this is where the money comes from, you need to find out. You should not be finding out from strangers, because Cheron and I do not know this chef. He should not be finding out from us that his website doesn't work. And if he knew his website didn't work, well, why would you submit that? You already know what you need to do. You have a catering website with no menu on it. Start with the obvious things that you need to do in order to grow your business. So for everybody, please go check your website right now. You might be surprised at what you find. It may not be there. I already know some of you gonna go and your website is not going to be there, and you didn't even know it because you never check it. Um, so yeah, that's it with this hot seat review. For our guests who are with us live, does anybody have any questions you want to type in the chat before we get out of here?
And just make sure all your systems are in place. I mean, and if you systems meaning being able to collect the money, you know, um, to Lenzy's point, as far as a website being operable. But if you have a website that people are purchasing things, you want to be able to click on something. We're in the age right now where people are clicking, paying, and getting out of there and going to do their next thing. So we just want to make it user friendly.
All right, looks like we have no questions, so we're gonna wrap this up. If you want to get your apply for a hot seat review of your catering business, use the link in the description box of this video when we post it on YouTube, and that's where you can apply for a catering hot seat review, as well as RSVP if you just want to attend and learn by watching somebody else's business, but you learn the most by getting help with your business. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.